her aunt
Yeah.
when you say these things and you bring this all back. And I look at this and I think, that's what this next item
That's
does for
why
all
I
of
come
us.
here, so we can tell the story. If you just looked at those silicone lids in a grocery store or a big department store, you'd be like, what's that? You would have no idea. If you looked at this out in the world, not everybody grew up with cast iron enamel, which is what we're going to talk about now. I did.
Right.
If you looked at this in the world without knowing the stories behind it, you'd be like, why do I need that?
Right.
Or I have a hard anodized set, or I have a nonstick set of this and that. Why do I need that? Here's the story about this pot. Everybody knows the very famous brand of the cast iron enamel.
Right.
I can assure you, I have that as well, handed down from generations.
Right.
I use my pots as much, if not more, and I am telling you, they're just as heavy, they're just as pretty. I think they're a little more stylish,
They're
personally.
beautiful.
But I designed them, so I'm partial. But you will never find this quality of cast iron enamel at even remotely close to this price. Right. I swear to you, my hand to God, I am telling you, it's fabricated in the same way, and these are fantastic quality pots. What I really love about mine is on the inside, instead of a white finish, it's a black finish, so you don't notice if it ever chips or gets stained over the years.
Right.
And these are the pots that you make soup and stew in. These are the pots you bring out when someone's sick. These are the pots that you bring out when you're giving someone sympathy.
Right.
These are the pots you bring out to fix the human soul. That's what these pots do. That's what this is for. Here's the absolute true story. The first time the New York Times ever did a story on me, I just started at Food Network. I'd only been working on Food Network maybe a year.
Right.
And the New York Times wanted to include me in a very creepy story, by the by. It was, what would all of these different people in different professions save from their home if it was burning? Hello, I'm so superstitious. Knock on wood, knock on wood, knock on everything.
Right. Throw salt over her shoulder.
Creepy, but I'm like, heck, I'm, a little girl in upstate New York that cooks some simple supper on TV, and the New York Times wants to talk to me. Heck yeah, I'm going to answer that question. I said I would take my cast iron enamel pot that my mom always made soup in when I was sick as a little girl, and that my grandpa, who had passed away, who was my best friend and my caretaker when I was little, he used to make his beans and greens in.
Would you stop?
And the one thing I would take in life with me out of that house wasn't necessarily a picture or a jewelry or something fancy. I want that pot because it brings back my grandpa, and it'll always bring me back to my mom. So the day before the New York Times is going to come to photograph me in my little cabin in upstate New York in the woods, in my little kitchen with my pot and my big pot of soup, I'm trying to save a deer that's trying to run me off the road. And I turn my truck and I hit the guardrail. I flip the truck so hard the axle breaks. I don't know how I'm here. I should have died. Whole thing was crushed.
God bless you.
But I'm covered with bruises and gasoline and food items. I still go to work. I go home that night. I get up the next day. The guy comes to take the picture. I don't want to tell anybody I'm all bruised up. So I take me some Aleve or something, but like half a bottle. I got my pants unbuttoned like men do when they eat supper. I got my pants unbuttoned because of all the bruises, and I'm walking real slow like this. I make this man a big pot of the beans and greens in my cast iron enamel pot that my mother gave me that I would take if my house were burning. The man comes in, I've worked so hard to make this go well. Their photographer comes in, and I live in a little tiny cabin with no dishwasher, just a little two-bin, tiny little sink.
Right.
One toilet way up in the woods in the middle of the mountains.
Right.
This man comes in, and I'm on Food Network. People probably think I got a big fancy kitchen. Right. This man comes in, and the look of disappointment on his face, it was like, hi, how you doing? I mean, it was almost disgust. I've got wainscot, it's real dark. I got like one light.
Right.
No place for him
so
to like,
bummed.
right? He makes me stand outside in winter holding the pot
Oh my
in front of the
gosh.
cabin in the snow.
And you're bruised and you're broken.
And I'm standing outside because my kitchen's too ugly to take the picture. I'm like, this can only be happened to me.
Right, right.
But again, these are the type of pots
But
that you
that's
hand
what
down
that meant
from
to
generation
you,
to
right.
generation. This is, in my opinion, an amazing bridal gift. This is the kind of cooking that people do for a lifetime.
Right.
These are the soups, stews, slow-cooked meals, the things that comfort us when we don't feel good,
Right.
period.
Right.
And that's the best I can say about it. And you will not find anything at this price, $100.
Right.
You go online and look at all the big famous ones that do this.
And
you
compare
know
the
what size you get
yeah.
for $99? This big. It would make a macaroni and cheese for 2 mice and maybe a 6-year-old kid. You get a pot this big. This is a very labor-intensive process. The molds are heavy. The materials
Somebody
are heavy.
needs to touch up.
Wait a minute. Are you kidding?
Yes, we need a touch-up. We're sweating. We've been cooking pasta for 2 hours.
Rachel Ray has to put lip gloss on me and Valley's in the building?
On Jane. We're crying. The makeup's running. We have no powder.
Look at all the food.
What's going on now?
Okay.
All the times you've done my show, you leave me hanging like this out here.
I know. I don't
Jane,
know.
I love you.
I love
Okay.
you. Oh, there's some gloss here. You know I'm coming to do your show on Monday.
I know.
So you'll see me in 2
Yay.
minutes.
And you're on
I love
Friday
you.
Night Beauty
I know.
tonight.
In just 2 minutes. Look at my beautiful girls. This is like my happy place right here. I would like to be a Jane and Rachel sandwich.
Wait, come on. Wait.
Oh, that's the best thing ever. Oh, I can die now. Thank you. I love you.
You know what Molly would do with this pot? She'd look at it a lot and dust it occasionally. Put a little gloss on it.
There you go.
She'd invite you over to cook in it.
That's
That's what
right.
she would
That's
do.
right. Thank
and
you.
we would do it.
I bought 3 of your today's special values.
What
I love
color?
you. My sister bought 2 too.
I got
you
one.
see? Hello.
And she
got
bought
yellow.
one.
Yeah,
That's
you
a half
got
a
yellow.
dozen right
Thank
there,
you.
people.
That's
So this one coming
It's
up in
amazing.
Friday
I
Night
love
Beauty,
you.
and this one coming up next with her today's special value. This is I love QVC. Live TV rocks.
My girl, she really is on Monday.
I know.
So funny. She knocked my mic off. I got so scared and jumped.
That was amazing. She was like that.
Love you.
That was amazing. I love you. Congratulations. Great day. I love you.
Bye, I love you more. I'll see you Monday.